Hello again, you dopamine chasing, thumb swiping legends. I guess you're here again, and so am I. Today we're diving into something that's probably happening in your hands right now. It might even be the way that you got here in the first place. Scrolling. But not the graceful scroll of ancient scholars. Oh no. I'm talking about the frenetic, hypnotic, thumb-aching kind that turns hours into seconds. Short-form content is like a buffet of spiritual junk food, bite-sized, irresistible, and engineered to keep you coming back for more. But today, we're going to discover how to turn that mindless scrolling into a potentially mindful practice, a journey through your brain's wiring and your spirit's deepest desires. By the end of this thing that sometimes I call an episode, we might have turned that infinity scroll into something that actually nourishes both the soul and the brain. Let's start with the science, even though it's something I have a problem with most of the time. Your brain loves dopamine more than your mouth loves pizza. Every time you swipe, like, or double tap, your brain's nucleus accumbens, also known as the pleasure center, lights up like it's New Year's Eve, dropping dopamine into your system and making you feel so good. But here's the sneaky part. Dopamine is not a long-term thinker. It's like that friend who convinces you to stay out just one more hour every single night. Instant pleasure, long-term regret. The more you scroll, the more your brain gets hooked on that short dopamine hit, building a habit loop that's harder to break than a bad dance routine. Neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire itself, starts creating shortcuts to pleasure, making scrolling feel like a necessity. It's like building a superhighway straight to distraction, where every exit leads to more videos, memes, or life hacks you'll never actually use. Meanwhile, your prefrontal cortex, which governs impulse control and decision-making, is quietly weeping in the background. It's trying to help you make good choices. But dopamine is over here, whispering one more video. And we all know how that battle ends. It's probably you watching a clip of a cat opening a door for the 17th time. Spiritually, constant scrolling is like trying to meditate at a rave. The mind is bombarded by sound bites, videos, and flashing lights, pulling you away from the present moment, away from your inner calm. And what's worse, scrolling often leaves you feeling more disconnected, like you've traded depth for distraction. But the good news is, just as you can rewire your brain, you can recalibrate your soul. This is where mindfulness steps in like a spiritual bouncer, politely but firmly guiding you back to the present. When you add a mindful element to your scrolling, you're not just consuming content. You're curating your experience. You're asking, does this lift me up? Does this align with my higher self? Or am I just numbing out? Scrolling can be a spiritual practice if you approach it like one. Each swipe becomes an invitation to reflect, pause, and breathe. You're not just scrolling. You're scrollitating. That's right. I just made up a word. We're supposed to be meditating and scrolling, but I don't know. It's like digital gardening for your soul, where you prune what doesn't serve you and nurture what does. So, how do we strike this balance between consumption and consciousness? Picture it like a digital detox smoothie, but without the bitterness And I know some of you don't believe that detoxing is real, and I don't know, the science is up in the air, so let's see how that pans out. Before you even open an app, set an intention. Are you seeking inspiration, information, or are you just running from the awkward silence of your own thoughts? Be honest. We've all been there. And then curate. Just like you wouldn't fill your body with junk food 24/7, don't fill your brain with mental junk. And if you do fill your body with junk food, well, we have something else to think about. Follow people and accounts that add value to your life, that lift you up instead of weighing you down. Make your feet a sanctuary for your spirit, a place where your mind can play without getting lost. Getting into the practical stuff is important, because telling you to just stop scrolling is about as useful as telling someone to calm down in the middle of a panic attack. No, we need real techniques here, ones backed by science and spiritual wisdom. The first thing we can try is breath awareness. Every few swipes, take a breath. No, seriously. If you can, inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Feel the air moving through your body and let go of any tension. This engages your parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural chill out button. It calms your heart rate, reduces anxiety, and tells your brain it's okay to slow down. Another thing we can try are emotional check-ins. Check in with yourself. How are you feeling right now? Is this content inspiring you, or just making you feel more like a potato in sweatpants? This taps into your insular cortex, which processes your emotions and helps you stay aware of how things are affecting you in real time. Another kind of obvious thing we can try are mindful pauses. Before you swipe up to the next post, take a moment. Reflect on what you just watched. Was it enriching? Did it spark joy, insight, or connection? Or was it just more of the same mental junk food? This strengthens your prefrontal cortex, helping you become more deliberate in your digital choices. Even the most mindful scroller needs boundaries. It's like building a fence around your mental garden to keep out the raccoons of mindless scrolling. Set time limits on your apps, because let's be real, you're not just checking one thing. And schedule scrolling times, as horrible as that sounds. Maybe mornings for motivation, afternoons for a little laugh, but definitely not right before bed. That's a recipe for a bad night's sleep and some weird dreams involving TikTok dances. The benefits of mindful scrolling go beyond feeling good in the moment. You'll notice less anxiety because your brain's not constantly in overdrive, flipping from one piece of content to the next. Your focus will improve as you retrain your prefrontal cortex to engage with content meaningfully, and spiritually, you'll feel more connected to yourself and to what matters, instead of scattering your energy across 1,000 distractions. So there you have it, my digital sages. Mindful scrolling is not just possible, it's powerful. By understanding the neuroscience behind our habits and infusing a little spiritual practice into the mix, we can transform this mindless activity into something that nourishes both our minds and souls. As you go about your day, reflect on your scrolling habits. Start small. Try one or two of these techniques. and watch how they shift your relationship with your devices. And remember, in a world constantly vying for your attention, the most radical thing you can do is to take it back. Go forth, scroll mindfully, and may the algorithm be ever in your favor.